Good morning, Colonel Bye.
It's Thursday, January 27th.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Navia.
And here are your morning announcements. A reminder that you are only allowed to eat in your first period classroom and are not permitted to go into any other classes at any point during the lunch break. Speaking of lunch, what's your favorite fruit?
Mango. What about you?
A date with you.
Not this again.
What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have a very interesting video. So I've been seeing all these channels do like telling my guy best friend that I have a crush on him, pranks and challenges, and I was like, I'm gonna hop on the bandwagon and do one of these too. But the twist, because I always want to bring my fans the most original content possible, is I'm going to be asking them a pickup line, and then hopefully they're gonna be like, what, you like me, you want to take me to prom? No way. So hopefully they react well. I don't know if I actually want to go to prom with any of these guys, but I'm super nervous, super excited to see how people react. So let's go see if my pickup line skills are actually that good.
Hello, hello, can you hear?
So there's something I've been wanting to ask you for a really long time now. Are you a crustacean? Because I want to take you to prawn.
Am I a crustacean? I'm more of a crustacean.
Is this a joke because I'm ginger and prawns are orange?
Well, I'm not a crustacean, but I'm with crustaceans. I ally with crustaceans. I do.
I'm not a crusty Asian, I'm Chinese Taiwanese.
Yo, okay, that's actually a good way in Wednesday question. Let me write that down real quick.
Are you a crustacean?
Yes.
No.
Sometimes.
And I haven't told my parents.
Thanks. Let's go.
Listen, Eliana, like, I know we've had this thing for a while, but I've been needing to tell you, I have a girlfriend. Her name's Michelle. Like, it's not
Michelle?
like that.
Who's
Yeah.
Michelle? Michelle who?
Obama.
Michelle
Yeah,
Obama's your girlfriend.
She got tired of Barack. Yeah, it was the whole thing. Like,
You're dating Michelle Obama.
yes, I am. Yes, that is correct.
Aren't you in grade 9?
No, Jordan, I'm in your Cougar Vision group. I'm literally in grade 12.
Wow, I guess all the guys were allergic to Shellyana fish.
CB's Neuroscience Club is hosting a virtual neuroscience seminar on January 31st with a guest speaker specializing in neural stem cell research. There will also be a Q&A session at the end, so fill out the Google form in their club classroom or their Instagram bio to submit your questions if you're interested in attending. For more information, contact the club on Instagram at CB_neuroscience or at the emails below.
Have you applied to the University of Western Ontario for full-time studies next year?
Apply for Western's National Scholarship Program. It includes a variety of scholarships, some of which are valued at up to $65,000.
Email Miss Badgery and guidance for the nomination process. Our school can nominate 4 students.
Email your application essay to Ms. Badgery in guidance by 3:30 on Monday, January 31st.
Find more information about the requirements of the scholarship on Western's website.
This week, we got the chance to ask you guys a very important question. Let's go see what you had to say.
used to call me on my cell phone.
Those answers were hot. Line bling.
Is that the only Drake song you know?
You know, that song got me through exams in grade 9.
Well, speaking of grade 9s, attention grade 9, 10, and 11 students. Course selection is coming up.
This week, you will have a presentation about course selection for next year in one of your classes.
For grade 9s, in your afternoon class right after lunch. Your teachers will tell you which day.
For grade 10s, it will be today right after Cougar Vision.
For grade 11s, tomorrow right after Cougar Vision.
Since many courses are mixed grades and/or mixed programs, the presentations may need to be accessed individually, so make sure to bring your own device and a pair of headphones.
Please remember to follow OPH guidelines to help keep everybody here at CB safe.
CB, this week we have a very special segment for you.
We've been working on an educational series about environmental issues.
And you know what they say, you can't spell Thursday without Earth.
What? That's so incorrect.
Well, not anymore. Here's our new segment, Thursday Show.
When studying climate change, we often just look at the numbers. Ocean temperatures increasing by 0.13 degrees, 1 million species at risk of extinction, 1.2 trillion pounds of polar ice lost each year. But what does this really mean? In other words, how is it truly going to affect us humans down the line? One of the most pressing concerns is forced migration, also known as the climate refugee crisis. Since 1992, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has been warning us about the impending risks of our impact on the planet and the mass migration that will undoubtedly follow. But to understand this correlation, we must first look at why global warming threatens the places we call home. Inconsistent precipitation and temperature patterns are what pose the greatest concern. They'll make agriculture and food production more difficult, leading to crop failure and malnutrition. This food insecurity will drive people out of more isolated regions into already dense, overpopulated urban centers. On top of this, by the end of the century, global sea levels could rise up to 1.5 meters. Coastal and low-lying regions will flood, one example being the island country of Tuvalu, expected to be completely uninhabitable by 2050. Even today, large portions of the land close to the beach are being pulled away, and the land that isn't completely damaged is flooding on a seasonal basis. As the water closes in on the islands, the salt water kills crops and farms, and the previously fertile land becomes degraded. One island has already been completely abandoned, its residents becoming internally displaced. Today, nearly 1/3 of all Tuvaluans live in New Zealand, and as more and more flee, their culture and traditional practices are slowly lost in order to survive. Sudden disasters like typhoons, hurricanes, wildfires, and landslides, as well as slow onset events like deforestation and desertification should be expected. According to a recent study, the planet will see a greater temperature increase in the next 50 years than it has in the last 6,000 combined. Today, 1% of the world is defined as a barely livable hot zone. By 2070, this percentage is expected to reach 19%, primarily including regions in sub-Saharan Africa and the South Pacific. 1/3 of the global population lives inside this area, amounting to billions of people who will have to relocate. So then we have to ask ourselves, where will they go? The obvious solution would be to have at-risk people move north, into regions that have the infrastructure and ultimate moral obligation to accept climate refugees. However, there's currently no legal framework to address climate change as a driver for migration. Canada's 2001 Immigration and Refugee Protection Act, the decree that marks the official definition of a refugee and set the standard for accepting those escaping a dangerous situation, doesn't broach the issue of climate or environmental disasters. This leaves asylum seekers in a near impossible situation, as their grounds for escape aren't accepted. More than all this, though, as a nation, we should be held accountable. Despite being relatively small in population, Canada is the world's 9th largest climate polluter. This gives us the ethical responsibility to accept climate refugees. For more information, we encourage you to visit the Borgen Project website, an organization working towards creating policy that will protect climate refugees. As a final reminder, we want you to know that it's not too late. By speaking out, CB, and each doing our part to limit our impact, we can help protect those most at risk and slow the effects of climate change on a global scale.
We hope you learned a lot, and we look forward to providing you with much more interesting content about environmental issues.
On a more serious note, today is International Holocaust Remembrance Day. This week marks the 77th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz-Birkenau and Bergen-Belsen. These were Nazi concentration camps that were the sites of mass murder during World War II. Today we honor the over 6 million Jews murdered and millions of other victims of the Holocaust, people who were Roma, Sinti, Polish, and Russian, people with disabilities or who were 2S LGBTQ+, people with political or religious beliefs that the Nazis did not agree with, and others. We pay tribute to their families and those that survived. The OCDSB pledges to never forget, but also to educate our students to stand up against anti-Semitism and all forms of hatred.
Learning the lessons from our past is essential to shaping a more inclusive future. At the OCDSB, we are committed to making sure our schools are welcoming and safe for everyone. We all have a role to play to speak up. It's the right thing to do. If you experience or witness anti-Semitism or other kinds of hate, tell a trusted teacher, vice principal, or principal. We will take action to address it. Let us take a moment to reflect on the millions of lives lost and the heroism of survivors and rescuers.